Hello, Xyceres here. It's just going to get started on the starter deck video for against the AI. This first one will probably be in just a Bronze League game. The way I've been looking at this so far, because as you can see I've already got ticks on all these. Each one of these is one of the 5 characters that's available. They're basically just different factions kind of thing, like they've got access to different cards. So they have different strengths and weaknesses based off of those additional cards. But what I can see, Bronze League is fairly simple. You should be able, most people that have even just a passing practice in card games can probably finish all the Bronze Leagues with the starter decks, no problem. Silver can be a little bit tougher, and I think Gold. I have a fairly large amount of experience with CCGs. Like, I'm not like the best player out there, but I feel like Gold was still quite difficult with the starter decks. So it's definitely doable. I did all this with the starter decks. I didn't go into constructed until after this. Although you could go constructed for Gold if you happen to have some cards or bought some cards, or just even if you just left it for a while. Now the big thing here is when you complete all 5 of each of these tiers, you get a pack. So packs normally cost quite a lot. It's a good way to get some influx at the start of the game. Anyway, we'll start with this one. Enemy, we'll just go random. But for the deck, I want to go Ariane the Mage. You start with Raptor. The Raptor, sorry. And I would consider that, but he's also the tutorial character, so once you start playing you'll have a fair idea of how he actually plays before jumping in anyway. Whereas Ariane is probably the second most simple starter deck. Like, there's nothing really too fancy going on with what she does, but you can unlock her quite easily. All you need to do, in fact you can unlock all of them quite easily, all 5 characters. All you need to do is beat them in any game and you'll unlock it. So easiest way would be the Bronze AI challenge that we're about to do now. You'll also notice I've got a constructed deck over here, which is just a test deck that I actually stole off the internet somewhere. Anyway, let's jump in with Ariane against Venescula, apparently. So Venescula is a vampire character, lots of health stealing and stuff like that, whereas Ariane, being a mage, has a lot of direct damage spells and whatnot. The big thing with this game is the way this system here works, which I'll get to in a sec. Not the mulligan section that you've got in the front here, but you might be able to see. It's a little blurry at the moment. I'll explain it in a moment. Start with the mulligan. Mulligan, obviously I want to go for what's good at the start of the game. So I want to try and get some damage. Because I don't have any damage here. This carrot, but you'll see what I mean in a moment. This thing here is more of a mid to late game card. This here is just going to be a little bit of damage against them, but it's a one-off, so I don't really want to hold on to it. I think I want to try and get something to set me up long term. And this is health, and I'm not damaged yet, so why would I want that? I'm going first, which is good, so I'll mulligan those 3 and I'll get 3 cards back. There we go. Okay, so you'll see here there's 4 sections here that have my face on them. Basically, I can put any card into any of those slots, and it'll fill that slot, and once we hit play, it'll actually go through and play them in this order, and the opponent actually plays semi-simultaneously. So I'm first player, so I'll go here. We'll both walk up to our first slot. I'll activate mine, then they'll activate theirs, and so on, and then so on for the second. I'll activate mine, they'll activate theirs, etc. Until we get to the end of this. It's called a chapter. So 4 slots is 1 chapter. There are 5 chapters until the end of the game. At the end of the game, you just do get out until see who wins. Let's have a look here. I want to draw a lot of cards. So this will let me draw 5 cards, putting me at 7. And between each chapter, you also draw an additional 3 cards. So that will mean I'll be on 10 cards going into next chapter, because I'll draw one here, remove 2 health, I'll lose 2 hit points, and I'll draw 3 cards here. So that's 5 cards, 2 still in hand, that'll end up with 7, draw 3 cards, put me to 10, which is the maximum hand size. Now, the strange thing here is these creatures, you don't actually play creatures to help you fight, you play creatures for you to fight. So what will end up happening with the way this is set up, I'll walk up to this, it will remove my weapon, which I don't have one, so it won't remove anything, and remove is different to spend. Spend you have to actually do to get the effect, whereas remove just, if you have one you lose it. And then you get the rewards at the bottom here, which is 3 gold. And the reason there's a gold symbol up the top here is because this is a adventure card, and adventure cards cost gold. That's how you activate them. Whereas monster cards like this one are activated by killing. So up here, top left is the damage it deals, top right is the health it deals. Now, the damage and health isn't going to matter in this case, because I have 2 damage down the bottom of the screen here. You can see I've got the same symbol as the monster has, and 2 damage will hit the 2 health, and then it won't hit back because the legends, the characters, hit first. So if we just hit play here, it'll go into what she's doing. So she's dropped down this bandit, which will get her 2 gold when she kills it, and she kills it no problem. Now, we're not showing it off particularly well here because we're both playing with starter decks, but there's actually a very large number of cards that affect your opponent as well as yourself. So you're not just stacking up for the end game, you also end up doing a lot of damage between the two of you during the game. In fact, from what I've seen of actual multiplayer games, it's very rare that we go the whole way to the end without someone dying, unless both decks are specifically designed to do that. One or both decks, I suppose, depending on who's winning. Let's have a look here. So I've still got the 2 attack here. Now I've got my 10 cards. That's good. What do I want to do? I could just drop 3 damage on them. I don't have enough gold for that, and I don't have a weapon to use that. What I'll probably do is set up this Greeker. Set up Greeker, who is an ally, cost 0, gives me a weapon that has 1 attack and 2 durability, so I get to swing twice with it before it breaks. I'll follow that up with a skeleton warrior who has 3 hit points, so that 1 extra damage will put me in the range to kill that quite easily. Then I'll follow that up with alchemy, which will get me a ton of gold. In fact, it will get me 5 gold because I will transform my weapon into gold. There we go. Now the last slot, I'm not sure if I want to use it or not. After this is all done, I will have 12 gold, which will allow me to activate Earth Blast going into the next round. It'll be more than enough to activate Earth Blast, but I'll have maximum number of cards. I think I'll skip the last one, and if I want to move these around, I might want to move these around. I'm not expecting a lot, but no, we'll keep them the way they were. Sometimes the order is important, because say if they removed my ability to pay for some of these or made them more expensive, then they could have messed with me, but that's not going to happen in this game. Although we might see it a bit more later once we get on to actual dungeoneering runs. Once we get onto the dungeoneering run, because that'll be actual players and not just these relatively easy AI decks. So yeah, now up to chapter 3, you know it says 5 listed there. Pretty sure this is a random map each time, but the map's kind of irrelevant, it's always 4 slots. Let's start with this. So this actually allows me to interact with my opponent, so what I'll do, it will deal damage equal to my hand size times 2. In fact, if I put that there, so however many cards I have in hand, times 2 will be how much damage this deals to them. I want to have the maximum number of cards possible, but I also want to do as much damage as possible. Okay, so this one here will get me to draw 3 cards. I'll be capped out on cards again after that. This one here will do 20 damage to him. This one here will do 3 damage to him. So he'll be on 7. I won't get my draw from... I'll lose the 3 card draw that I'll get between swapping Chronicle... swapping to the next area. But I think it's worth it for the additional 6 damage. See, so now they're on 10 hit points to my 18. It's not great, but they just killed something that deals damage to them, so they actually just hurt themselves quite a bit. Not enough for this, but they're very close to dead. See, so now if I had another one of those blast things that I just used, I could kill them quite easily. In fact, I have a scorpion here, which when it's killed deals 3 damage to my rival. Because I'm first player, I will activate my card first, so there's nothing they can do to stop me. So I'll just hit play on this, because we've just won the game. So we didn't even end up getting any base attack bonus here, but there we go. When you actually first start out, you'll actually end up gaining cards for your first few levels. At level 6 though, you know you've already unlocked all the cards for that class. Then there's a platinum reward at 10. I think the next reward after that is a pack at 15, but that's just incentive to keep leveling up your character, which just means playing all the characters really. Once you got 6, you've already got all the cards that you get for free for that class, which is good. Anyway, so that is the first game. Hopefully that wasn't too boring, but I'm going to try one more, most likely as a gold, with a different character class. I might end up losing, because the starter decks sometimes fall apart a little bit, they're not particularly consistent, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you next time.